Yeah, but Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is the Painful Excellence Podcast. Dr. Mark, how are you?
Oh, bless my brother, blessed. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I had a little mishap earlier, but I'm okay. I thought I lost my phone. Yeah, but I left it at the gym.
Man, I'm telling you, you know what? Let me just say this real quick. There's something about kings and their phones. Cause man, I've had a nightmare with mine. I can't tell you how many new phones I've got.
Man, Stormy was just saying, hate the fact that the way life is designed right now, our phones are instrumental.
Yes.
In the early 2000s and the 90s and 80s, I just didn't care about that stuff.
Right.
I had at least 30 phone numbers in my mind. I just don't have that anymore, outside of like my wife and some close family members. But you know, we're just not programmed like that anymore. Everything, you lose your phone, it's over with. You know,
right?
And you know, I was just about to shut it off, and I said, "Let me just go back." When I walked in, she was like, "Hey," I was like, "Oh, thank you." It's crazy, man. Let's say what's up to whoever's in the chat. Love is the word. Salute. Shawa, what's going on? Omega Red, my brother. He said, "Start the show." My bad, son. Ratchet since '91. Love is the word. Jeff, what up, bro? How you feel? Rod Neal. Josh, Jose Diaz. Weirdos love Mr. Shelton. Man, Mr. Shelton, man. This dude is funny as hell.
He be coming up with it, don't
he? Yeah. Big Block. 88 Sports Talk. Who else is in here? Kane the bad guy, hard body, Jay Timo, man. Oh, no doubt, Jay Timo, man. Listen, man, that brother, Cop Kill, I see you. That brother, that brother left his mark, and he made an entire community step their game all the way up as far as conversation and as far as how we conduct ourselves as men, and that's what people will never remember him for, you know, and that's a shame. He left. You're talking about Kevin Samuels now.
Oh,
he left
absolutely.
Philip D, what up, brother? How are you? Who did the intro? Me and my cousin. My cousin did all the filming, and that music is it's what you call it? It's safe music. I got that music off of an app, believe it or not, and I was listening to it. I said, "Oh no, this is the one. This is it." And you know, I have some skills as far as editing is concerned, and my cousin has a very expensive camera. And Phillips, every time someone asks me about the intro, I got to tell the brief story. Paul Carrick, salute, brother. Jay Everything, salute. Just real quick on that intro, since you're new here, don't believe it in that intro. I'm standing outside in a damn short sleeve shirt. Brother, it was goddamn 14 degrees. That was January 3rd of this year. It was like right after New Year's, and we went out there to do the intro, and it was like maybe 10 or 11 at night, and we went to Times Square, and you see me walking with my coat open, and no, I was cold as hell. I was cold. My jaw was like, ugh. I was like, yo, we gotta hurry up. And he's like, yo, let me just go around you twice with the camera. And I'm snapping my fingers. I felt like my fingers were gonna fall off. I was like, hurry up. Man, and I had the music in my head. I'm like, hurry up, man. Because every time we was only out there filming for like maybe 10 minutes at a time, because we had to run back to the car and warm up. It was, man, I was cold, man. It was no joke, but he did all the filming. And when I got home, that's why it came, it was non-copyrighted. And when I got home, I got on my app and I said, okay, because I'm a visual person. And when I heard that, I said, this is the song right here. Right? This is the song. And I'm like, okay. And shut up, Omega Red. This is a funny ass film. So I said, okay. So I just started editing stuff. And I also did a modeling shoot. Those pictures in the beginning were from my shoot that I did. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to change it up every year. And I'm going to keep the music because I really like that track. I listen to that track when I'm working out too. I have it in my playlist, man.
Oh, it's nice.
It's really good, and it stood out. I said, man, this is very professional, man. And I just roll with it. So yeah, I was frozen that day. I was frozen. Oh man, it was so cold. So he says, yo, won't you take your jacket off? He said, take your coat off and, you know, stand up on there was like a concrete NYPD like block thing. He just stand up there and just flex. And I said, bro, you want me to take my coat off? I said, hurry up, man. And he did that, man. And if y'all look closely, I was going into the gym one day, and who's coming out the mall? Slick Rick. He lives right here in the Bronx. And I was like, yo, Rick, what up? He's like, yo, what up? I said, yo, can I get like a little video? And he's super friendly, man. So, you know, I just did a little video, and the original video's up on my Instagram. So I just threw that in there, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in New York. You'll walk right past somebody, and, you know, for the most part, the big stars and the smaller level stars, they're all friendly out here. They ain't gonna run from you, you know what I mean? But I had fun with the finished product. I was actually amazed at how well it came out, you know. But we on point with it. So I think I'm gonna do one every year, and this time I'll be ready. You know, I'm not taking my coat off if the weather's bad. Fuck that. That was ridiculous. Oh man. Whew. Holy shit. So tonight, man, let's get right to it. I'm actually looking, y'all know I was looking for smoke, and this coward, you know, she'll stick to matter of fact, let's make her famous real quick. She'll stick to you know, hanging out in the chat, probably you know, talking nonsense. But had a little had not an incident, but this person, all right, she has 8 subs, and you know, you can tell a lot about a person by you know, she did what we call a drive-by, all right, and she thought she knew me, and she thought she could tell me what's what, but like, you know, she came in there, and I addressed it in my last show. And this person, Tay, how you doing, sis? Yeah, I know Jose. She's listening. So I'm gonna make you famous, Rose. I'm gonna make you famous. You're listening. You're snapping your bubble gum. You got your $500 weave in your head. And I'm assuming the worst of you because you're the worst kind of person. Because any adult would say, "All right, let's talk about it." But she didn't do that. One thing I can't. Yeah, Tay, it's down. Don't worry about it. One thing that you can tell about a person. Well, one thing you can't tell about a grown adolescent like Rose Bloom is her age, because she more than likely is grown. She's probably in her 30s, behaving like a child. You know what I mean? And oh no, you know what, Mr. Shelton? Yeah, y'all gonna like this. Mr. Shelton just sent me a nice picture, and this is actually perfect because I'm gonna assume that this is Rose Bloom or her type. And the reason why I pulled her page up is because first of all, she's not doing anything with her that dude named Dave. What's going on, brother? And I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad you showed up to the conversation. dig this here, man. I go to her page because I want to see who's always talking. You can always tell what kind of person they are by looking at their material. And the first thing I found out, because she left me a whole book on what she thought of me, rather than engage in the conversation. And I go to her page, and what does she have? She has no videos, right? But I looked at her playlist. Look, 5 reasons why people get trapped in narcissistic relationships. She follows this, I don't want to, play too much of, okay. Some woman named Dr. Ramanani. She got 1.3 million subs, so I'm not going to fuck with her, but I watched some of her stuff. And I guess she's a psychologist, right? And that's fine. But look at the type of stuff that she listens to and watches. That obviously tells you that she's reaching out for help. And whatever people say, men in particular, whatever we say that doesn't coddle her feelings in reference to her failures, she dumps on them. So she came on here and had a problem with me, and that's perfectly fine. You can have a problem with me all you want. Let me take care of Dave. Let me wrench him up. And you can do whatever. You can say your worst, but young lady, I gave you an opportunity to say your worst to my face. Well, virtually. And we could have had a conversation. I wouldn't have screamed or cursed you out. We deal with, what do our brother Blue Blood Sports TV says? Facts over feelings.
Right.
But just, what does Kevin Samuel say? We deal with facts, data, statistics. So if you was to engage in a conversation with me, you need to bring it. You need to bring it. And see, that's why women like you couldn't stand that man. You couldn't stand that man. You couldn't stand that man because the truth hurts. It absolutely hurts. And let me pull up this, because, this woman, Mr. Shelton, sent me a really funny ass picture. And I'm going to post it here. And I don't know who this woman is, but I want you guys to understand, it's symbolic. This is symbolic of more than likely the type of person that we're dealing with here. Okay. Now this ain't her, and I don't know who this woman is. No disrespect, but let's point out a fact. Y'all see this right here? Yeah, chuckle it up. All right. Now I don't know if this is Rose Bloom, but let me be very clear. I've been around women that I don't know if they not that, but you see her flipping the birds. That's how she walks through life. Okay? She owns it. This is me. I did this to me. I ate myself to look like this. And because no man wants to deal with this, it's fuck you. And if you don't like me, you hate your mother. If you don't want to date me, you hate your mother, and you're probably gay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've seen women like this that says, I don't want anybody with a stomach as big as mine. He got to have a 6-pack. He got to have a hot car, a big old beard, big old shoulders. He has to look like Drew Titan. And you have all the standards in the world, but this chick right here, somebody hit it because she might have spit out a litter of kids. And what's worse is, if you look like this and you don't have kids, you have no excuse to look like this other than a goddamn birth disease. I don't know what birth disease she has to make her look like this. Other than, it's called Chef Boyardee. That's what it's called. I see diabetes. I see high blood pressure. All right. Now, am I dumping on women? Now, why this sister dressed like this, flipping the bird, like fuck you? This is like fuck you. She's really mad at herself. Nobody did this to her but her.
Yeah.
But this is what we men stand against. Kevin Samuel stood against. And we're not clowning you, but we're calling you out. Now, what's more productive? Calling you out saying, look, sister, you're not supposed to look like this. I don't care what society tells you. This isn't healthy. That, or own it, girl. And if no man likes you like that, girl, they don't like themselves. You're beautiful inside and out, man. Stop. You're not helping her. She is going to die.
Yep.
That's what we don't want. Someone, and it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I get that, but you know what? We're all grown here. Okay? The 80s, we were telling you, yo, look, there's a problem here. The 90s, same thing. Yo, hold on now. With this sexual stuff, watch it. Salute, bro. With this sexual freedom and stuff. All right? Hold on now. I remember when there was a dance hall artist named Patra came out. And Lady Saw and all these, and they were sexually aggressive artists. And I'm like, okay, now, well, chill. Little Kim and Foxy Brown. And I'm like, hold on now. And in the 2000s, it became, oh, Hardbody, I don't even know who that is. If I knew her, I definitely would email her your website. You know, Johnny Q, salute. In the 2000s, we were like, yo, what are y'all doing? And y'all walking around. Did y'all not hear my last show where I explained to y'all guys where the feminist shit came from and how it was all a lie? But we're so far down the rabbit hole, we can't get out. And now, you see this brother right here? Dave, explain to the chat what you're doing in 2023. And Rose Bloom, I know you're watching me, but you see this brother right here? What you should be concerned with is why men are doing what they're about to do. Okay? This is what we was trying to prevent. And now they're leaving and you're talking about why? How about this? It's not their fault that you didn't have the discipline to put down the ho-hos, Twinkies, putting fat back on your vegetables, defeating the whole purpose of a goddamn vegetable, eating bacon all day long. You eat it for breakfast, you eat it during the snack, the bacon bits, you put it on your salad, you eat it, the bacon double cheeseburger, then you eat bacon at night, pork chops, fucking your whole life up. And all we said was, sisters, we love you. Could you please not do this? And if we tell you something that's good for you, we hate our moms. You understand? All right. We're planning a trip to the Philippines. You see that? All right. 3/23/23. Now I know some of you sisters are gonna say, "Oh shit, you can't deal with real women." No, we don't want to deal with real pains in the ass. Now I'm fortunate. I'm happily married. I'm fortunate. But I look around me and I'm concerned about my fellow man. And I'm like, fuck, I got a nephew. I got younger, not siblings, but my cousins and stuff. And they're like, what's going on? And I got to explain this shit to them because this shit is state of the art. I didn't think that it was going to get this bad. I thought that women would snap out of it. How the fuck did we go from Lauryn Hill to Little Kim?
Facts.
Did y'all forget that? Lauryn Hill was the epitome. And what did they do to Lauryn Hill? They told you she was crazy. She was having a nervous breakdown.
Yep.
Now, true, she married one of Bob Marley's boys, and maybe she didn't understand that he's a Rasta, and it's part of their religion to be fruitful. But the women that dealt with Bob, they all knew that. I don't recall reading anything about Bob Marley's ladies fighting with each other. They knew exactly who he was. Now, Lauryn Hill spit out some kids. She was happy. She had a little tax problem. Did y'all know Prince paid off her debt, her taxes? Did y'all know that?
Yep. He
did that on the low. Didn't broadcast it. He just did it, set her straight. But my point is, how did we go from Lauryn Hill to Little Kim? And look what Little Kim represented, and look at her now. If a woman needed therapy, it was her. All of that, oh, I'm sexually aggressive and I can do this, and men don't fuck me, I fuck them. And look at her now. She destroyed herself.
Destroyed herself.
She was a pretty black sister, but she destroyed herself. She ain't destroy herself. You understand?
Yep.
You understand? Look what Dave says. I'm married, but I am showing men their options. No sign language for the men. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And we have this conversation because we care. But every time we have a conversation, and if y'all not subscribed to that dude named Dave, please subscribe. Oh yeah, Andrew 100. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because Cardi B was exposed as a farce right away. I don't cook, I don't clean. Her husband took a video of her doing just that. So all of these women that you ladies are following and marching to their tunes, there is no Cardi B in my household. My kids don't listen to that. Because she's full of shit. When I heard her stand on Opulent LD, salute. When I heard her standing on the goddamn stage and says, yo, you know, she said something about get yourself a sugar daddy. The baby girls ain't listening to that. If they need something, they got a father. And their father is teaching them how to select a man properly and letting them know you're gonna need a man. But I'm showing them how to select properly. They're not gonna be, I made a mistake and I'm not mad. Ain't gonna be none of that. Because I'm here. The mother's here. And you know why it's not even a thought. You know why? Married, two-parent household. Now, how the fuck did the two-parent household become the minority in life? Now, Rose Bloom, if I said anything that's not factual, please show yourself in the chat and I will drop the link and we can have a conversation. But as it stands right now, with you and your drive-bys, okay, this is what I think you look like, or close to it. Maybe not as bad, but this is bad. This is bad. There's absolutely nothing here that on my most drunk night in the 90s, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. I could have done a bid in the pen, and I'm not doing that. Monster Musa, salute. Snacks B, salute. I wouldn't do it. But you displayed who you are when you got in my chat and you told me a thing or two of what you thought of me. Well, here's what I think of you. And then I go to your page and on your playlist, you're watching this Indian doctor, and I don't know who that woman is, but I can't tell her shit because she got over 1 million subs. But the fact that you follow her, that tells me that you are looking for help. So while you're trying to fix yourself by following this woman, it's not gonna do you any good by coming to this platform and trying to tell me about me. I'm secure in who I am. That's why the first few months of me doing the show, I talked about all my flaws. I'm not perfect, but I'm better than you because I can admit it. You the type of bitch that say, I ain't got no problem. The man is a problem. That's just what you said. That's just what you said. That's just what you said. And I saved it as a reminder. So you are the contestant on the Summer Jam screen. Now, if anything I'm saying to you about wrong, saying about you is wrong, please show yourself. You're not blocked. Show yourself. Let's have a conversation. But here are the terms. You click the link. Well, I know you heard me talk about you. This is the second show I'm talking about you. But here's what you're going to do. All right? I know you probably got to get your hair done or whatever. Whatever it is you need to do it. But you click the link, you turn the camera on, let's have a conversation. And you tell me what's on your mind. And I don't give a fuck about what you think of me. I really don't. But address the issues and tell me that I'm a liar. And why you telling me that I'm a liar? Bring the facts, the data, and statistics to prove that everything I say is false. Quote me from any one of my shows and say, you said this and that at this show. And I will pull it up and find what you're talking about, and we'll have a conversation. That's called debate. And I am very well. You see, young lady, and I'm going to assume that you're younger than me too. I'm assuming you're younger than me. You look worse, and I'm 46. You're in worse shape than me, and I'm not in bad shape at all, actually. And that's probably why you call me a narcissist, because I think highly of myself. And you're supposed to think highly of yourself. But you probably got a couple of kids, maybe one kid out of wedlock, and you're not married to you have a baby daddy and not a husband. But prove me wrong. But these are my assumptions, because you people tend to attack you when you struck a nerve. You came out of nowhere with this. So I really want to meet, who is Rose Bloom? Who are you? Who sent you? Who sent you, Ma? Who sent you? That's what I want to know. But as it stands right now, oh, love is a word. Any man that's confident and living their best life, not bothering anybody, and not being bothered with women like Rose Bloom, we're called narcissists. When we say, no thank you, I'm not interested, oh, he's narcissistic. Again, love is weird. Let me show you. This was her channel. She follows some woman named Dr. So she's a psychologist. But one of the videos that Rose Bloom has in her playlist is 5 reasons people get trapped in a narcissistic relationship, which means this woman, Rose Bloom, dealt with a guy that didn't want to deal with her. And she's trying to figure out why. Here's what you do. Book a session with a therapist. I recommend, not even a therapist, I recommend getting some relationship advice from a guy, my brother, Ricky Williams. How about that? Go hit up Ricky Williams. Sometimes he's on the P.E.P network, you know. You know all of these channels. I'm sure you do. But hit up my brother, Ricky Williams, and he can give you some real talk. You're probably going to call him a narcissist and all this other weird shit too. But if you don't want to go that route, pay some money and get some help. People have to pay for help. You pay for good clothes. You pay to see a good dentist. You pay for good doctors. In this instance, you're looking for help. You're not going to find it. You can only find but so much help on YouTube for free. All right, you trying to say, is this me? No. Pay money if you can afford it. Pay money. See a therapist. The only thing I can recommend, make sure it's a male. Make sure it's a male. And call that man who makes 6 figures a narcissist when he tells you, look, here's why you can't find a man. How tall are you? Does that sound familiar? Oh, I'm sorry, you don't like that. Dress size? When was the last time how do you rate yourself? Fresh face out the side? Oh, you don't like that. That's a Godfather. You don't like that. How about this? Show him that Kendra cam, girl. Same shit. Same shit. Dave, am I lying? Same shit.
Yep.
Dress size, Kendra cam, same shit. Notice that? These women get on Kendra thinking it's a safe space. Hey, yeah, you know, Kendra, because these niggas and these men and and they be train wrecks in there, male and female. But let's focus on the male, on the women right now, because we're gonna get to my topic in a second. Okay? When y'all got on that Kendra show, start talking that shit, it's like we got Kendra. There was only so much Kendra could do. And I'm not talking bad about her. There's more than enough people doing that shit. I'm not talking bad about her. It's just things that I noticed. I remember when I was watching the show, because I watched her show. It's very informative. It's like watching Jerry Springer. It's like, oh my God, these people are for real. It's like Kendra. It's like, man, these people calling her show, beaming in. This is real. I can't believe this shit. He got to be over 6 feet tall, and he got to have a 6-pack, and he got to have a job. Well, at this point, when you're asked, what are you looking for in a man? And you say, well, he has to be, I don't like liars. Duh. What? Who goes into a relationship and says, you know, they could lie a little bit. What the fuck? Get the fuck, what do you mean? This is normal things. You get women go on there and say, I don't like liars, I don't like cheaters. Okay. And then they get all off, they go off the rails. He gotta be taller than me. Well, how tall are you? I'm 5'9". Okay. And he gotta have a job. How old are you? I'm 37. Well, I would think, who actively looks for a man with no job? You see what I'm saying? This is foolishness. And then they have all of these, but he got to make over $80,000 a year. The average man in America makes about 40. The average woman makes about 35. And this bitch only be 5'9". She tall as fuck. And then she says, well, show us that Kendra cam. And they back up. They're 5'9", built like a goddamn linebacker. And they think just because they got H cups that's gonna make up for everything. And then you find out they got a couple of kids and a couple of baby daddies. I was just watching Dave earlier, and he reviewed one of Kendra's show. This woman had 3 kids. The one in the middle was off of grape, and she kept the baby. So I'll disregard that. But I want to know more about her situation, because it sounded bugged out. 3 children, 3 baby daddies, but one of them, forget about the one in the middle, because that was off of Grape. But the fact that she kept the excuse was, the first one was, I was young. The second one was off of an assault. There it is. She was 39 years old. 3 kids, 3 daddies. And the last one was on some, basically, long story short, I didn't give a fuck. I just, what? Now, some dude is supposed to go to her. Oh, I'm sorry. Because watch this, y'all. Some dude is supposed to go to her and accept all of that, because that's a lot going on. And you know what she said? Which was the worst shit ever. I got a PhD.
Yeah, called public high school diploma.
Okay. Where's my damn soundboard? I got a PhD.
What?
Oh, thank you, Dave. The third one. She got drunk, and dude's pullout game was awful. But she got a PhD. This is the woman you get with, and you're making that $40,000, $50,000 a year, and with all of that shit she got going on in life, this the chick that'll get with the dude and be like, as long as he's ambitious. It's like, wait a minute. Well, you can get, ladies, it's possible to get with a man and he's making $45,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year with an 800 credit score, and he's fine living in his 1-bedroom apartment, and he has a car, and he has no debt, and he's fine with his life. What happens is, women that have that PhD, they'll get with him, be like, well, I want him to do better. I want more for him. No, he's fine. You fuck him up when he runs around trying to meet your standards.
Yep.
He didn't want a PhD. If he wanted a PhD, he'd have pursued one. But he's fine. Y'all come along and fuck him up. And then those men, they got to make a decision. Yo, is her pussy worth me getting out of my comfort zone? I'm comfortable. I'm in my late 30s, early 40s. I've been working this job for 21 years. I'm about to get a pension. I'm cool. Do I want to just add to this? Am I going to run back to school because of what? Because she got a PhD? And then those women will get with a man and look down on them because she's a PhD. When the reality is, that bitch never got third. I couldn't be sitting on a date with her and just sitting here and listening to all of that. The first thing, once she got the child number 2, I'd have been like, wait a minute. What? So that kid is off of Grape? Oh my, I'm so sorry. Who did you see for that? Because she never mentioned therapy. She never mentioned it. Okay, fine. So then, all right. So that's kid number 2. Kid number 3. Oh, I was drunk. Can you imagine her well, forget about telling you that on the first date. She got on Kendra G's show, and now everyone who watches Kendra G saw that. I want to know what dude that's going to seriously hit her up and say, this is the type of woman I want for my wife. What qualifies that? What qualifies her to be a wife? That fucking PhD, who, by the way, fellas, and this is a gem for y'all. I hope y'all paying attention. Okay? Is that PhD paid off? Because if you get with her, her debt becomes yours if you marry her. If she's paying $500 a month for her student loans, that's what I'm saying. These sisters, they are very educated, but they also lead the league in student loans. So they got their PhD. Is she working in her field? How much is her debt? And now here you are with your $40,000 a year with no debt, and now you want to marry her? Her debt becomes your debt. So your 800 credit score, it gets knocked down to like 500, because once you tie the knot with her, her bullshit becomes your bullshit. But she'll be looking down on you with her PhD. Now, I'm not saying that she does that, but I'm saying that's what's been happening now. Sisters are educated, and they look down on men that are not as educated. And they want men to come up to their meet our standards. Bitch, you are 200 pounds. You have no standards. And I don't give a fuck about your PhD. I don't give a fuck if you're making 6 figures a year. Your money is not my money. But if I marry you, your debt becomes mine. That's what I care about. So who's winning? 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. Who's the catch? Get the fuck out of here, man. Dr. Mark, what you got on that, brother?
Wow. Well, you've said it all, really. The only thing that I will add to this is that, when you talk about whether she's 300 pounds, whether she's 500 pounds, neither one matters, because she's not just tore up externally. She's tore up internally. So even if she was 5'5", Coca-Cola bottle shape, drop dead gorgeous, she's so ugly inside, I still wouldn't want her. So, and that's really what we have to get to. It is not, the physicality is something that can be fixed. If a person has the discipline and the commitment, you can fix anything externally. You can be the best version of yourself if you're willing to put in the work. But internally, if you are tore from the floor up, and everybody has a why. So, that's first and foremost. Who knows what she's been through in her life. But by the same token, at some point in time, you've got to be accountable. And where this is the most dysfunctional is that many women today are not accountable. They do not want to accept responsibility for the choices that they made and say that here's what I could have done better. The first thing they want to do is point to somebody about what somebody didn't do and who they are, and all of it is bullshit, because it's not what they really believe about themselves. That's why all of this camouflage talk is I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, listen, I don't want anybody that I care about to die too soon. If you weigh 500, if you look like that woman that you showed, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Why would I volunteer for that because I'm not going to be just a life mate. I'm going to be somebody that's helping you to get up the stairs, helping you to get out of bed, helping you to get in the tub, washing your backside because you can't reach it. I'm going to be doing all of that.
Let me say this. I'm glad you said that, and I'm not being funny. Does this woman look like she can clean herself properly?
No.
Look at her reach. She got 12-inch arms and all that ass. You think
she can't?
You imagine what she smell like?
She don't wear nothing but slides because she can't tie her shoes.
See? Come on, man. And I bet you that woman ain't got no kids. I bet you. Now, this is what we speak out against. We're not clowning her and leaving the picture up there and ha, ha, ha. No, I don't think that shit is funny. We want to prevent that. Back in the day, when you saw a woman morbidly obese like that, now let me go on record saying this. Everybody got Big Mama in their family, but we know where it came from. Big Mama was well taken care of. All right. But let me say this, man. If we have no shame anymore, we have no shame, and this is why I'm so upset with Lizzo. Let me give you both sides of the spectrum with Lizzo. There's a portion of me that's proud of her. She's talented. The sister can sing, she can dance, and she made her own way. I don't want to say things that are rude, like, she sold her soul to get where she is. No, I think she just works hard. So I'm proud of the sister. I am. The other side is, I would like for her to be more responsible for her message. All right. And whether she likes it or not, she's a role model. I followed her on Instagram for a while, and I had to unfollow her because I remember one time I was on my desktop and I was scrolling, and my child was here asking me a question, and I just scrolled past Lizzo, and she said, I was looking at, and she's like, "Whoa!" And I look, she's twerking in slow motion. That's not something I wanted my child to see. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, wow. And I knew she would do that every now and again. But listen, there's teenagers watching her.
Right.
And you have to be responsible. Ladies and gentlemen, twerking is just a new name. Back in my day, it was called Doodoo Brown. Y'all don't remember Doodoo Brown.
Yeah.
It was called Doodoo Brown. And it was twerk. And that's what they're calling it. Like, you know, the Yardies called it something else back then. You understand? But that's my era. So this isn't new. It's just a different name. You understand? But I need Lizzo. That's right, that Dave. Luke. All right? I need Lizzo. I really would like for her to be more responsible with her message. Lauryn Hill never had to twerk. Lauryn Hill never had to talk about sucking dick until she hiccup. She never had to do that. All right? She played the guitar. She could sing. She could rhyme her ass off. She wrote all of her rhymes from what I know, from what I heard. Okay? Sister was talented, and they destroyed her. She was going in one direction, and then they embraced Little Kim. And the fact that y'all don't see that is amazing. Lauryn Hill's first album, her only album, is a classic album. There's not one track on there that I skipped. I said, man, this sister is so great. And the industry and the media destroyed her. Had us thinking that had a lot of y'all thinking she was crazy. She's not crazy. That's what they told y'all. And we went from that to Little Kim. So when I see Lizzo up there, what I would love for her to do is to, first of all, acknowledge that she has, look, social media is not your goddamn therapist. You're talking to a bunch of people that love you, and you're talking to a bunch of people that love you because they waiting to see you crumble. They don't like you like that. They're gonna love your downfall. They're waiting for you to have that nervous breakdown. That's what they're waiting for you to do, Lizzo. So 1 minute she's proud and she's fat and she's proud. Then you get on her social media, she's crying over somebody fat shaming her. Stop that shit. Stop that. I would respect her more if she says, you know what, look, I'm overweight. She knows that. And I'm working on it because this isn't healthy. And now, Queen, salute. Now my knees are hurting and I was on stage and I was breathing heavy and I feel I could be a lot more productive if I took off some of this weight. You would be amazed about how much more lives you touch, particularly in the Black community, where the obesity is through the roof, and not only Black men but Black women. 80% of y'all are overweight. 80%. But Lizzo, you're bouncing around on stage saying it's okay. It's not okay, sister. It's not. Zelos Newton, salute. I'm not gonna tell you it's okay. You're talented. You're a pretty girl. All right. Now, dudes that are saying, yo, I'd fuck Lizzo. You know why they'd fuck her? Unless they had, and I'm not being disrespectful, but hear me out. They're saying that. Some of them might have a fetish. They might like women that size, and that's great. But do you really want to get with a guy that has a fetish? Because he likes you because you have a fetish? Or he really likes you because of you? Or he likes you because of you're a millionaire and you're in the spotlight and he just want to share that with you? Stop that. You really see who your friends are when those lights go out. And I don't want you passing out and having a heart attack on stage and, silly shit like that. You could not have, you could not be pre-diabetic. You could not be, have high blood pressure. But that won't stop your heart from saying, yo, not tonight. I got to stop this shit. Just because you don't meet that criteria. I've been lugging around this 200 plus pounds for a long time, and I got to stop tonight. I don't want to see you falling out on fucking stage, man. I worry. And you would be doing the community a service. The girls that look up to you because you're so talented, you be doing them a service by accepting what's going on and documenting your change. You'd be a fucking hero.
Yep.
I would like to see you doing music with Lauryn Hill. You'd be doing her a solid by putting her back in the limelight. And you'd be doing yourself a solid as far as appearance. You might lose some sponsors. You might lose some eyesight because we are attracted to the bullshit more than what's right. Like I said, Lauryn Hill, they threw the baby out with the bathwater, and Little Kim, they accepted her, and then she disappeared, and then she Cardi B and all the Meg Thee Stallion, all of that was spun off of Little Kim. All of these chicks with the sexual aggression, CB Sports, salute. That's spun off of Little Kim. And then Little Kim disappeared for a while, came back, and I said, what the fuck did she do? You know what that is? That's from her not loving herself. She wasn't overweight, by far. And she was a pretty black woman. She was not overweight at all. But all that butchering she did to herself, that tells you what was going on in her mind. She probably had a nervous breakdown. That's right, Nicki Minaj and all of these people, they left a trip. Little Kim left a trail of destruction and she had no idea what she did. She set us back to the Stone Age. Y'all remember late 80s, early 90s hip hop? There was a movement. Public Enemy, KRS-One.
Yes. Yes.
Dating back, I know Melly Mel personally. The Message. We had conscious rap.
Eric B. and Rakim.
Eric B. and Rakim. We had conscious rap. And we had party rappers. We had battle rappers saying unbelievable stuff that they would never. We know they couldn't do, but it was just fun to hear.
Yep.
Kool Moe Dee and LL Cool J was in the same building laughing and joking, but they battled on stage song for song.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane.
They never once thought about shooting at each other.
Yeah.
All right? And then something happened called NWA. Paul Carrick, salute, King Corleone. And that was some outrageous shit. And they were talking about what was going on in LA, and we didn't know that in the East Coast. We was like, what the fuck's going on over there?
Right.
And then that got embraced. And then what came out over here to rival them? A group named Onyx.
Yep.
And although I listened to it, I understood fiction. I understood it. Now, whether they was living that life, I heard some things. I said, okay, that's them. That ain't me. I understood it. It ain't me. I partied to it. I slam danced, but it's not me. It's a persona. But some of y'all niggas thought it was you.
Yep.
Bullshit. Now you see what I just tied in? Did I just blame all the women? No. Men were just as responsible. I just took you through just a small part of rap music and the hip hop culture. All right? We went from educators to gun-toting fucking thugs, and it set us back. We went from Lauryn Hill to Little Kim. How's that for accountability, Rose Bloom? Let me know you're in the chat. Click the link. Let's have a conversation. Because this show is the men women can do without. Hashtag the 16%. Because that 16% are the motherfuckers responsible for 90% of the births out of wedlock. Now they're there, but who the fuck is picking them? Y'all are. Now you're gonna tell me that those guys have such good game and you couldn't see that they're full of shit? They get on Kendra G's show talking about all kinds of men that they want, but you're saying, okay, well, you got kids? Yeah. Dave. And everybody in the chat that saw this, Phenomenal Mexican, salute. Oh no, Phenomenal Mexican. We were in awe of NWA because we never seen no shit like that. First of all, we stopped wearing Jerry curls like 8 years. And then these guys from Los Angeles came up. We was like, wait a minute, they still wearing Jerry curls? What the fuck? Ain't it like 100 degrees in LA? The worst thing in the world in New York is standing next to a nigga on the subway with a Jerry curl on. Do you know what that head smells like? He's like, why these niggas wearing Jerry curls? But wait a minute. Cops are shooting brothers dead out there? And it intrigued us. When NWA did the Apollo over here, they got a standing ovation. So we didn't hate them. And we didn't know what the fuck a Blood Oil Crip was until we started watching these LA motherfuckers. And for a long time, we thought that shit was stupid. Now out here, they're everywhere. How the fuck did that happen? We embrace bullshit. That's why.
And you know what, Drew?
Go ahead.
The largest indictment, if we're going to talk about accountability and why, the biggest indictment, which is how we all got here, is on America. America did this shit because, number one, we wouldn't be here. They brought us here to destroy us, and they used everything. I'm going to just say this real quick. The three things that are in the black community that are in more abundance than anywhere in the world, anywhere. Check the receipts. You will find a gun shop, more gun shops in the black community than any other community in the world. You will find a gun shop. You will find a church, more churches in the black community than anywhere in the world. So you got gun shops, you got churches, and you got liquor stores.
That's right.
Now, what do those three things have in common? Because I know there's one that you guys are scratching your head about, and that is the church. But understand that the church, just like all these other things, was a creation for division. Because God said you're the church. That building is not the church. You are. And because you've let the building become the church, it's been an easy mechanism to divide you. That's why there's all these different beliefs and religions that you now are confused about. God is not the God of confusion. He's the God of wholeness, love. So I'm just saying, accountability, America should be indicted. America, but stop being a sock puppet and letting America stick their hand up your butt and tell you what to think and what to do. Because all of these things were created to destroy our community. And it worked. It worked.
Right. It sure did. Right on point. I wanted to address what the brother Snacks B says. He said, but we looked at NWA as our brothers, same movement. Yeah. And what's unfortunate is the message from NWA was misinterpreted. And I'll give you an example of that. NWA was talking about things that they were dealing with in Los Angeles that we didn't have any idea about. There was no social media back then. And when it came on the news, all we saw was helicopters and people running through backyards trying to get away from the police and all of this shit. And they started doing songs about it, F the police and all this stuff. Out here on the East Coast, we didn't. It was a movie to us out here. I'm talking about my age group. It was entertainment to us. So the message got lost in translation. It was equivalent to watching a goddamn, like I was just on Stormy's channel. We was talking about Chuck Norris. Yep. We didn't know whether they were telling the truth or not. So it was just music to us. And unfortunately, some people they see it and they adapted it as a gimmick, and they wanted to try and live that life. Because these artists can be very impressionable, you know what I'm saying? And they left the mark. And, You see Dr. Dre now. You know, I told my child, she was watching one of Ice Cube's movies, and I shit you not, I said, "What you know about Ice Cube?" She said, "He's funny." He's funny. I said, "Yeah." "Oh, I know he did an action movie, you know, the Triple X action movie." I said, "Do you know he was a rapper?" And she said, "I heard about that." I said, "What?" And I sat her in front of YouTube and I started playing these old videos, and because she needs to know these things.
Yeah.
And her mouth dropped like, "What the?" I said, "Yeah, this guy, he was, you want to talk about cancel? He was on the FBI watch list."
Yeah.
I had to tell her about Easy. I said, "Yeah, Easy E, whatever." I said, "You know those headsets that we got you, the Dre Beats? You know who Dr. Dre is?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "There you go, right there." She said, "Oh, that is him." I said, "Yep." I said, "See, gangsters, they're making family movies, but they done left. I know they were trying to get a message across, but they did kind of leave a trail of destruction to the people who misinterpreted the message." But he's a grandpa now, Grandpa Q, and they're not in those streets anymore, you know. And you know, Jay-Z, same thing, you know. But these guys, you know, yeah, I know Omega Red, Mark Wahlberg. You know, I played her that Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. She fell out her chair, and she's also a huge Will Smith fan. And I said, "Yeah, Fresh Prince." And she, you know, all the shows are on one of these apps that, you know, I got. She watched all the shows, and I played her, you know, Parents Just Don't Understand, and it blew her mind. I said, "Yeah, man, you know Queen Latifah as this actor." I said, "Let me show you something. Flavor Unit." All right, and she was like, "I can't believe, I'm in awe." Yeah, you know. I told her about Tupac, but you know, she don't like really know his work, but she know about him. You know what I mean? But this is about being responsible. Now, Mr. Shelton sent me something last night that I saw for the first time with this AI rapper, and all I'm saying is, this is a direct result of us not being responsible for the things we create and us selling out for $1.
Yeah.
All right. This rapper, this AI rapper, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. And that guy got a deal. And he was created by, I believe it was an Asian fella and a white guy. And they got this black guy to do the voice for it. And it took the voice and tweaked the voice, but the AI creates its own raps. I can't believe this. This is Skynet. This is the Terminator of hip hop. Because I'm listening to it, and I asked Mr. Shelton. I said, "Hold on, who wrote this?" And he's like, "No, it's the computer writes it." Y'all remember the Terminator? Skynet becomes self-aware, and they had broken down. And Skynet says, "All right, here's the problem. Y'all motherfucking humans." And they sent up the missiles and destroyed half the planet. And now there's a resistance. John Connor. All right. Well, this AI motherfucker, you have computers writing drill music, because it's drill music. You know what drill music is? It's shoot, 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 kill, 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 kill. And I'm listening to it like, what the fuck? The computer came up with this? And they're rapping on beat. I said, this is dangerous. And this is where we at. Listen, man. When I grew up, one of the things, and I'm gonna get to the topic after this. We had a few gangster MCs that talk. One of my favorite ones, he's on my Mount Rushmore of rap music. It's Cool G Rap. Now, whether he was real with it or whatever, I never heard anything about him doing anything in the street for real. But I never ran out and marched to his drum when he put out Rose to Riches or pick a song. He's always talking about gangster shit. But nobody was living behind what he was saying. to my knowledge. But one thing I will say about black men, young black men at that don't know any better, they are now qualified. I bet you can't say that. We are attracted to money and pussy. You want to insult a young black man, insult his pockets and insult his penis. Even if you never even seen it before. And depending on where his mental state is, you might offend him. You might. You understand? But this is why fathers are important. Self-awareness is important. This is why no troll can come on here and even if they know my government name, which you guys know has happened. So what? I'm on here daily. I show my face daily. I don't hide who I am. I don't. There's no need to. But if you're driven or triggered by something that I said, I struck a nerve. Congratulations. Go get help and go talk to someone about that, because talking to me is not going to help you. I'm no therapist, but if you come on here firing shots at me, let's talk about it. Attacking my personal life, that does nothing. It really doesn't. And then when you come with assumptions, that does nothing, because that tells me everything I need to know about you. Rose Bloom, 5 reasons people get trapped in narcissistic relationships. That tells me you have no man. That tells me you have no man. And you'll probably get on here and say, I don't need one. You probably have a kid. All right? You probably can't figure out why you don't have a relationship. You can't figure none of these things out. What you do know is that you got a bunch of men running around here, you know, speaking up on that shit. And it's been a cry for help, because we didn't want you sisters to go this far. All right? Now let's get to the topic. All right? All of this leads to why I decided to do this show. Mind you, I'm trying to help people, and I'm contributing to an ongoing conversation that you, women like you, are trying to cut down. But let's talk about the men that you should avoid. This show is about the Pookies and Ray Rays. First of all, I know Pookies and Ray Rays, but I don't hang around them. Why? They don't qualify to be around me. I watch the company I keep. I really do. They don't qualify to be around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm around productive individuals, because I don't know everything. How often do you guys hear me say it? I don't know everything. I'm always looking to learn, because I'm trying to elevate myself. And this is why Kevin Samuels threatened you guys. This is why you women like you celebrated his death. This is exactly why women like you celebrated his death, because you thought once he left, y'all were like, who, man, so he got to stop telling that truth now. No one else is going to hear it. Wrong. Triple the amount of men came out and says, nah, that man was right. Yep. That man was right. And what also pisses women like you off, Rose Bloom, I'm trying to make you famous, baby. So you can go ahead and do your live now and respond to me. I want to engage in a conversation. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. The reason why women like you were trying to celebrate his death was because the truth hurt you. There's evidence of that is because what you said to me in my chat. And I started to block you, but no, I said, no. People need to see this. People need to see this. You're threatened. All right? And he left a legacy. I don't know his kids or nothing like that, never seen them. But when I look on YouTube and other social media platforms, Kevin Samuels left his mark. And if you took your emotions out the goddamn, Big Easy, salute. If you took your emotions out the goddamn situation, you would see that all he wanted was black unity. So all this talk about divesting, I saw this other sister talking about, oh man, we don't want you anyway, we're divesting. Listen, if you're 200 pounds and 5'9", with kids all over the goddamn place with 3 different baby daddies, and we don't want you, what the fuck makes you think an Asian gonna want you? A Latino's gonna want you? A white man's gonna want you? If we don't want to deal with it, they see us not dealing with it. You know why? There's proof that we're not dealing with it. You know why? 54% of us are either rich or in the middle class and childless. 30% of us are virgins. That leaves 60%. 16. Those are the scraps y'all picked up, and y'all fighting because y'all baby daddies have kids elsewhere. So the 16% of the bad dudes, the bum niggas, the scrubs, they're getting all the pussy. That's why I said that scrubs thing that TLC made. I said, that don't make no sense. What the fuck did she do? What the fuck did they do? They're talking about scrubs and what they don't want. That was y'all marching theme. What was that really doing? That song did not hurt my feelings because everything they said in that song didn't affect me at all. I said, I ain't no scrub. I don't care. And salute the Sporty Thieves out the Bronx. They're the ones that made that song Pigeons, the retaliation song. Got y'all mad. And the only bitches I saw mad with the shit that they applied to, that the song applied to. All Kevin Samuels wanted. You see that? All Kevin Samuels wanted was black unity. And y'all fucked that off because y'all chose everything else but the truth. That's right, Kevin Samuels was y'all last hope. Y'all didn't give a fuck because the first 3 years of this social media thing he was doing, he was talking to men and how we need to dress better and get dress better, talk better, get more educated, get your money up. You have to qualify to take care of a woman. You have to qualify for that. Pookies and Ray Rays, they can't take care of y'all, but they were getting all the pussy. Ladies, explain that. Rose Bloom, explain that. Explain that. I'm willing to bet you have a baby daddy. Prove me wrong. I don't know. I'm going to assume you have a baby daddy and you're not married. And y'all are not on good terms. He comes around. He might be in your child's life. But you're not married to him. Why? He's a good father. What you going to tell me? He's a good father, but I don't want to marry him, or I was young. I love that. I love that one. I was young. Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear none of that shit. This part. Nah, Queen, she never showed up. Big Easy, my brother. He said, why is it that black women over 200 pounds or over 40 decides to divest? You never hear women in their 20s saying this nonsense. You don't. Exactly. You don't. You don't. But we do know the wall is undefeated. 35, it's over with. 28, you're in KS used to call it the danger zone. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The danger. Highway to the danger zone. You flying like in Top Gun, top speed into the motherfucking brick wall. And then you turn around. No man. And then that's our fault. Oh, I couldn't find nobody because y'all niggas ain't shit. I know you're not talking to me, 200 pounds, 5'5". I know you're not talking to me. I'm in the gym, baby. But I didn't like what I seen. I didn't like how I felt. I said, I got to make changes. And I made changes. You know what I'm saying? That baby dad, thank you, Kane. That baby daddy, that baby daddy slogan, that came out in the 90s. I remember, like around 94, 95. And then they made a song about it. That's just my baby daddy. Who that is? That's just my baby daddy. I said, what the fuck? That's not funny. That's not funny, man. And it's normalized now. A lot of y'all sisters got kids out of wedlock. Y'all not married, and we ask you about that baby daddy. You say he wasn't ready. So why the fuck would you give him the honor of keeping a kid? What happened to birth control? And when we point out these are the discrepancies, this is your fault, you get mad at us. You get mad at us. What the fuck? It's rare you hear a woman say, yeah, I'm a single mom, but you know what? I fucked up. I thought I could change. I might have met maybe a few women in my life that say, yo, look, I thought I could change that dude. I thought I had a flying carpet. I thought I had the Aladdin pussy. I thought I had the flying carpet pussy, and I thought I could change him. And he stuck around just enough. Mac in the South, my brother. He stuck around long enough to get the carpet, and then he took it and flew out of there. And he got a whole other kid. My child got half brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something. One of my best friends, if I remember correctly, he has 13 half brothers and sisters. 13. And Papa was a Rolling Stone. Okay? His father was cool. His father has since passed, right? But he got half brothers and sisters all up and down the fucking East Coast. His father never owned a car, never owned a driver's license, never had a permanent residence, but he got around. And for the most part, my buddy knew his half brothers and sisters. And my thing is, his mom and his brothers and sisters, the mother, they all, my point is this. His mother worked for the state, did her thing, retired, great. You know what I'm saying? My point is, sisters, those women chose him. Chose him. You know, he would pop up where we at and hang out, and then he'd leave, and then he'd pop up again. Once a year, twice a year. He was a one-man gypsy. He would just walk and, you know, disappear. You understand? But somehow he had a gift of gab or whatever, and he'd get these women, and he had nothing to his name. He had nothing to his name. Now, how the fuck does that happen, y'all? And he was a good dude, because, you know, we were kids. When he was a good dude, he was a fun guy, but he was a street dude. But he was fun to be around. All right? But guess what, ladies? That's the 16%. Now, as fun as he is and the gift of gab or whatever, that's the type of man you're supposed to steer away from. Yo, look, all right, even if it's playtime, even if it's like, all right, you know, he's sexy, I'm going to give him some. What happened to protection? What happened to birth control? And what was you going to do? All right? My friend's mother worked for the state, worked for the court system, had a great job. It was a single mom raising him. Did a wonderful job. And she was by herself. And she never kept him away. Because daddy, when he would pop up, where would he stay? In the house. Okay? But that was abnormal to me. That didn't register to me. But I did know other women that understood. But it's not normal. All right? You can't raise your damn daughter to think that that's normalized. Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? And I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying that the father's a bad person, but that was a level of dysfunction. When I grow up and look back at it, it was a level of a dysfunction. And it did affect my boy. There was some times where, you know, I can tell, you know, when he got around my family, I had things, as far as association was concerned, that he wished he had. And I could tell. But you know what I did as a friend? I always invited him everywhere. Because that's my brother for life. For life. And I always included him. To give him that sense of family. You understand? That's how I am. That's how I was raised. Rose Bloom. Now you want to tell me I'm a horrible person now? I've been talking, running my mouth for over an hour now. Where's the lie? That 16% is what you're supposed to avoid. So let's run down, me and Dr. Mark, let's run down the type of men that women should avoid. First of all, the Rolling Stone. He has a phone, but he don't have no address. He may look good and smell good, but you don't know where he lives. Talk to us about the Rolling Stone, Dr. Mark.
You know, it's the most important thing about this show, ladies and men. I know sometimes ladies might think, God, you just seem like you're coming down hard on us. No, you are the way that change happens. Change will happen when you don't allow a Pookie to have your womb. Now, it's hope. Listen, we all make mistakes. You like what you like. If you're at a stage in your life where you're young and you say, you know what, he just sexy to me. Fine. You're not committed to anybody. You're not married. You want to give him some, give him some. But make sure that you protect you. Don't say, well, he better have a condom. No, you have them.
Thank you.
You have them. Don't wait on him to do nothing. Listen, you ladies want to be in control all the time, but when it comes to being responsible, all of a sudden you give up the control. Come on now. If you want to be responsible, if you want to be the head, then you had a condom. You say, nope, you're going to put that on, and then you have something on you too. Don't just be on the pill. Because these brothers that are rolling stones are having sex unprotected by anybody that'll let them. And that means that disease is a possibility. You don't want that either. Right. If you say, well, I just, I want to feel it. Do you want to feel now having AIDS? Do you want to feel now having this monkeypox? It's so many things that you can get. You can't afford to give all of that up because you just want to feel, I want to feel him inside of me. Listen, now that's something a man will say. But you have the control because you give us access to sex. We give you access to relationship.
Take that.
Period. So you are the one that should be controlling the sex part. That means if your requirement is, nope, I'm going to have me on a female condom and you going to have on a man condom. And I might be on the pill too. But you got to protect your womb because you don't want these kids to be out here fucked up because now Pookie is their father who has no accountability. You just wanted a dangerous, fun time. Now you got a child that had nothing to do with that. He wants his father in his life because when they have father-son at school, he say, where my daddy at? Now you fucked that up. And because you are the one that brings life into the world. So you should be controlling that shit. You should be saying, you're not coming inside of me. I don't know you like that. I am not weird. The only way you coming inside of me is if we are married, not engaged, married. This is how I talk to my daughter. My daughter is 26. My daughter knows I don't play that because I don't want you to make the mistakes that I made. Ladies, this is about you getting all that you want. And women, if any of you out here that don't have children, I don't care what else you done. If you don't have any children right now, don't. Not until you're married. Don't. I don't care what he says. You say, well, Dr. Mark said, and you're like, man, shoot, you stop listening to Dr. Mark. Hey, you look at the statistics and see what's going on out here. Do you want to be responsible for another generation of kids that are lost? Because if you keep having babies with this Rolling Stone dude, all he gonna do is be laying his seed everywhere and walking away, which is exactly what you picked. So the 16% is that small population of guys that might be attractive, always bad boys, always got in trouble, didn't study, wasn't responsible, maybe had somebody spoiling the shit out of them. So they done been through all of that. And now you're like, oh, but he's so delicious looking. Okay. Cool. I mean, I'm not telling you not to and have fun and go through your growth period. Do all of that. But be smart. Be accountable. Be responsible. Wear a female condom. Make him wear one too, and you have it. Don't be like, nah, I ain't waiting to see what he got. You know, that nigga might be poking holes in it. I don't know what he doing. So you give him the condom, give him that magnum, and say, here you go. Now you better make sure that he's magnum worthy. Because he might be, you might need to be, listen, if he got a tie bow around it, then you in trouble anyway.
Damn.
But all I'm saying is, listen, this is about loving y'all enough to say, let's get this shit right. We've let this country do all these things to put all these systems in place to destroy us. And we think, well, no, that's the way it is. The reason why they allow this shit to be here is so they can rip us apart. And it's worked. If you don't see that play, if you don't see everything that they put in our community, when they said, we don't want Lauryn Hill. She's preaching a positive message. She's bringing back the culture. She's bringing back the unity. She's bringing back some responsibility and accountability. She's talking about love and talking about, fight the power and all of this stuff. She's a part of the movement. Or, no, we want Little Kim we want ratchet Little Kim that's talking about, I run this shit and then. And she, and Little Kim in her, before she turned into the Cowardly Lion, which is what she looked like now, before she did that to herself. I mean, Lil' Kim was a bad little something, but her message was fucked up. Yeah. And so her message is what they wanted for us. Why do you think they let gangster rap happen? They said, wait a minute. They was talking when NWA was talking about fuck the police. They was like, I mean, they were furious about that shit. But then they said, you know what? They just giving us a license to kill these motherfuckers. So guess what? We want them to talk all this gangster stuff, all this kill stuff, because repetition's the mother of skill. If we can get them hearing all this stuff, listen, we didn't own the record labels. These record labels was putting that music out because they knew it was going to fuck us up.
That's right.
So that's why they did it. You got to start paying attention to the play. Stop. Well, things have changed and I should have. How's that shit worked? We're all fucked up right now. I spend my time every day in the community fighting for us every day. Do you know that Starbucks, and I got a video about it, Starbucks has virtually, not only am I going to be doing their training for their employees, but I'm the damn neighborhood police. I don't let none of this crazy shit happen over there. And I mean, and the new manager there, she's like, oh, thank you so much. Anytime I come in here and I don't see you, I'm like, because I keep the peace. I make sure that these beggars ain't coming around here bothering people and jumping in folks' cars and doing stuff. I make sure that if you can't be over here talking reckless to these women, and they be like, oh, what's old school gonna do? I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what I'm gonna do. I said, don't let this gray fool you. Authority is real in every area. So I'm saying, please, ladies, please don't take none of this wrong. We want you to win, but you're not going to win. Listen, we getting tired. If y'all keep on this trajectory where you wait a minute, do you know what you divest into?
They never dealt with a real white man in their life.
This is what you divest into. No. It's even worse than that. You can't, because the white man don't want you. You talking divesting, but what you mean is I'm divesting to a toy, because that's the only thing that's going to happen. If you stay like this, these white men are used to women submitting to them. I've been all over the world. I've been everywhere. And these men in these other cultures ain't putting up with these women in America. None of them. Not black, not white, because all of y'all got issues, and we do too. But some of us are elevating ourselves beyond those issues. I just want to love you. I want to provide for you. I want to protect you. But I'm not going to ask your permission to do neither. I will fight for you with my life. But I'm going to provide for you with my life. And I'm going to run my house. Because the only way this works is if I'm the head. You got to say, because I love you. I want to know what you think. But at the end of the day, the final decision is mine. And if that ain't good enough for you, then go back to Pookie.
Pookie out here winning. And here's another fun fact. I can't confirm it, but I heard of police officers nationwide in NWA's heyday, when they did random car stops. In the police report, and particularly when things went sour, one of the things that they always put in the report was that when they pulled over these vehicles, they were blasting NWA, F the police.
Yep.
And they said the approach was very intimidating for them. They would put that in the report. This is what I heard. I've never seen one. Yeah. They would put that down, or they were blasting Ice-T, I'm a serial killer, a cop killer, or whatever. And he was singing those words while walking up the street, and then he looked at me crazy, and then he reached, and then I reached, and they will put that down there. Oh yeah, so you read it like, oh yeah, he was blasting that Ice-T, kill the cops, or F the police or whatever. He was listening to NWA. Then he looked at the officer and reached in his coat, and they will put shit like that. And now I'm gonna say that if it was in the report, 90% of that shit is a lie. Maybe it happened a few times, but that was a lie. But what we're saying is these motherfuckers gave them ammunition to use against us.
Yep.
And we got to be smart. All right? And that's my message to the men, because we're supposed to be the leaders, right? Right. Well, what the fuck are we leading? How about this? The Pookies and Ray Rays. Women, y'all submit to them in a bedroom. But they're not leaders in life, and y'all knew that. What happens is y'all like having dudes codependent. Some of y'all like having these loser-ass niggas on your couch.
Yes. Y'all
love that.
Yes.
Because you think that you can control them. I pay all the bills, and I do this, and I pay your phone bill. I just did a short video about a month or two ago where dude, Shorty walked in on her and on him, and he was apparently banging her mom. And the funniest part was, give me my phone, because I paid for that phone. She walked in on them in bed. Totally inappropriate. Now, here's my question. She chose that dude.
Yeah.
And this is her mother. Where's her father? And what is she doing, fucking on, her daughter's man? What's going on in there? Can y'all even get along? I did a live stream a while ago saying, can women really coexist as friends? Are y'all really frenemies? This is bullshit. And if y'all don't trust each other, because fellas, y'all know, y'all meet women and they say, yo, look, I keep a small circle of women around me. Why? Because you know how women are. They're jealous. The term hater is still kind of new to me. In my day, we just called it jealousy. Oh, because women are jealous, and they always they'll try and talk to your boyfriend. I don't bring my boyfriend around all my girlfriends because I know how women are. They'll probably lie to him and tell him some shit about me. Probably will be the truth, but whatever. And I'm like, wow, I find that interesting. So if y'all know all of this shit about yourselves, why the fuck do y'all get mad at us for saying, yo, look, So it's really not the message, it's the messenger. I just watched something that Monique said, and y'all remember Monique, the comedian, the overweight black loud comedian? That was her shtick, being loud and black with her hair done up, because that made a lot of other ethnicities think that the cream of the crop of black woman was not a woman like Michelle Obama, but it was a loud, overweight black woman. And she did something about women having bonnets in their hair, and she said, yo, look, y'all sisters got to stop going out in public like that. And they turned on her. But one of the things that Kevin Samuels used to say is, why are you on my show with a fucking bonnet in your head? Now let's turn it. And I'm going to use myself as an example. Y'all all know that my viral moment, whatever, with Sugar Hill, I had on a camouflage do-rag on my fucking head with my camouflage tank top. Now, right. The story behind that is, and let me be very clear. I don't think I was monetized when that happened. And I wasn't on there really thinking about how many people would see that, to be honest with you. I'm still kind of new to the social media thing. I didn't think it was going to go viral. I didn't know it was viral until like the next morning when Fanon called me on the phone and said, yo, congratulations, you made the news. They said they have your face on a UK paper talking to shit. I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? They was like, yo, you and Tay Jones, y'all went viral. I was like, how? What? I was just having a conversation. Whatever. Now I'm on there with a fucking camouflage do-rag on my head. Did y'all notice I stopped wearing it on my live? Did y'all notice that? Because that was the first thing I said. I saw a still picture of it and I said, fuck. And if I could go back and change one thing about that, it was about what I wore. I kind of regret that. You know what happened? I came from the gym. My gym is 24 hours. When Fred would come on, it's after midnight. He comes on at all kinds of hours now. And I was literally coming from the gym, and Tay Jones called me. He said, guess what, bro? I said, what? He said, Sugar Hill gonna be on Fred's show. And I said, what? I said, I'll watch. He said, you gonna call in? I was watching him talk to Sugar Hill for about an hour. And I was on the phone with Tay Jones the whole time. Like, yo, you heard that? You heard him say? And Tay Jones said, fuck it, bro, I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna beam in. I said, you sure? He said, yeah. I said, well, if you do it, then I'll do it. If you go back and watch it, Tay Jones beamed in, and, you know, what he said was not what I said. I said, you know what, let me just have a conversation with him. And, you know, y'all all saw it. And I saw it, yep. I didn't realize when Tay called me, I was literally walking through my door. I didn't even hit the showers or nothing. I was just sitting there, you know, and I'm like, I didn't take my headgear off or nothing. I had on a tank top. Now, the only thing working in my favor is that my other channel, it's a boxing channel. You know, it's a boxing channel. And, you know, it's just, you know, I was talking health and wellness, if y'all follow me that long, way before when I saw me and New Fat Boy Fitness. And then the boxing kind of took over. All right. But I can kind of justify it because Drew Titan LLC, my other channel, I talk boxing. So I'm not going to be on there wearing this 3-piece suit talking boxing.
It was a good look, brother.
Okay, a lot of people told me that.
It was a good look because, let me just say this real quick. It was a good look because, number one, it was not your show.
Yeah.
It was his show. You were a call-in. You were coordinated. You were articulate. You said what you had to say. And so, and it had a very strong look to it. And you were well coordinated. So no, I wouldn't regret that at all, because that was not, when you do your show and you might have a hat on or something, but you always smooth. So this was a call-in show. You didn't do anything that was inappropriate.
I appreciate that. You know, and I guess when you Google it, you get 1,001 hatred things about me whatever. But I guess that was my viral moment. And it irked me because you know what? I said, shit. How I was dressed and how I was speaking, I know people were like, huh? You know, what the fuck?
You was coordinating.
I was, you know, and when I go to the gym, I like to coordinate, you know.
Right.
But, you know, if you just look at the picture and say, and you would assume that I was just some dumb nigga from the Bronx.
Nope.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Yo, sugar, that's fucked up, and that's not right, sugar. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not who I am.
But that's not how you didn't look like that. You look like a. Wait a minute. I'm honest to God, because I saw the show. Now I didn't see the picture in the UK, but I saw the show, and you look like, first of all, you extremely fit. So you look fit. The camouflage, the two-piece camouflage looked strong, but it was coordinated and it didn't look and you listen, you can't. We don't see, some people think when they look at how I dress, they say, man, shoot, if I had a wardrobe like you, I said, no, wait, no. The clothes don't make me. I give the clothes permission to shine because they own me. I said, you gave that outfit of one of the best looks it ever had, because and you wore it well. So no, the outfit does not define who you are. Who you are is what defines who you are, and then you make everything bow to that, and that's what you did. So no, your look was on point. It was on point, and there's nothing. And nobody would have thought that about you because your whole presentation was articulate. It was professional. You asked great questions and you backed his ass in a corner.
Yeah, that's just what I did.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know it was going to be that easy. I thought he was going to have some sort of pipe bomb to answer all my questions, but when he just couldn't answer them and it didn't make sense, I was like, holy shit, I can't believe this. But, you know, people took his side, and thank you for the hatred, because that was when my channel took off. But yeah. my point was, if I knew it was going to be like that, I'd have changed. To be honest,
I know.
I'd have changed. I wouldn't have did that because I was literally, I had an excuse for dressing like that. But then some people was like, nah, that's your shit. You from the Bronx. And I said, yeah, you know, and I used to wear do-rags, you know, on the show. But I said, you know, I don't want to do that.
Listen, because it was on you, I can go out because of how I've carried myself my whole life and the way people see me because of the way I've always carried myself. I'll make something popular because it's on me. And I'm not even trying to do that. People say, oh, hey, man, I like how you was rocking. And I'm like, what? I mean, I'm not even thinking of it like that. So what I'm saying is this. Who you are is what makes the statement. Not what you have on. You will give what you have on a statement because it's on you. So you don't ever have to worry about what you're wearing, because because you're going to give it authority because it's on you. That's my take.
That's a true story, man. Hold on, I'm trying to get into my Instagram because I want to show y'all something. Yeah, I appreciate that. I was just kind of like when it went up, I said, shit, I could have did something better. That's how I felt. But it's whatever, man. You can't take things back. It is what it is. But I mean, look. Look, man, I was just like, wow, man. But my point is, I was cognizant of what I had on.
Right.
Some of you just don't give a shit.
Right.
I wear a do-rag in public when I'm going to the gym because it's annoying when you have sweat coming in your damn eyes.
Man, yes, it is, bro.
It's very annoying. And when I'm on the treadmill, I can't keep doing that. You know, I don't like that. So I put the do-rag on so I can catch it. That's the
Right.
only reason why I wear it. I haven't wore a do-rag out when I'm out with the fellas since I was in my early 20s. I don't just throw it on just to go walking somewhere. No, I don't. I'm not a child. So I said, you know, I got to take this off my head, because I knew when I popped up on the screen, for those are the first people that saw me there for the first time, they didn't know what they was going to get. And when they heard me talk, what was coming out of here didn't match the attire, and it fucked them up. You understand? This is me. This is me. Never judge a book by its cover. You remember all of that?
Right.
You understand? So that's the type of time I'm on. You know, oh wait, somebody, okay. Something I wanted to, let me address what the brother Chris Felton said. He said, quick question, if women are afraid of their girlfriends trying to take their man, why are they still friends with them? Because bitches are crazy. That's my explanation. I've been around groups of women, and when they separated, all of them were talking about each other. And they came to the lounge with each other, and they left with each other. It was be so bad where sometimes we're out the group, you know, each one of my boys will pick one and we'll date them and whatever. And then we'll be like, well, y'all really, me and the boys, we get together, we swap stories. He's like, yo, you know, you was with so-and-so? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, well, you know, she was telling me all this shit about her. He's like, yeah, well, funny. She was talking about her. And she said, well, your man's dating her, but she got a man and da-da-da. He's like, yeah, well, she told me that, shorty, you dating? Her man in prison, he coming home in 2 weeks. Oh, she told me that was her brother. Huh? I said, bro, don't ever go to that chick house. Because he coming out in 2 weeks, he might be out already. With the key to the apartment. Wow. You don't want to get caught up there falling asleep or whatever. And I'm like, yo, shorty, they be like, yo, why are y'all friends? Oh, well, I knew her for a long time. Look, there's dudes I knew since the 80s. If they done something along that lines where I can't fuck with them, I just don't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? But women, like, some of y'all love drama. Y'all like to keep people around because it excites you somehow. Yeah. It's rare that I see a woman say, you know what, I'm not dealing with her. So if y'all can't do that with your girlfriends, it makes sense that y'all can't y'all deal with these 16% ass dudes. The 16% ain't shit. Listen, the 16% ain't shit. As far as what you claim you want to do in life, I'll say that.
I got a perfect, really quick story that ties into what you're talking about. I was at Mariano's, and this was recent. And they always have live entertainment on Friday, and then they have a DJ on Saturday. And this was on Friday, and it was live entertainment, real nice. And so I'm in, and there's always a group of professionals, men and women there, and I'm always talking to everybody. So I'm sitting at the table with a group of ladies, and I'm not hitting on none of them. I just see them, I talk to them. They always say, "Oh, come sit with us," you know, and we just cool like that. So this one lady gets ready to get up to go to the washroom. And she says, "Oh, I got to go to the washroom." So then she looks over at them and she says, "Hey, Mark, you come with me." I said, "For what? I don't have to use the bathroom." "No, because I know as soon as I leave, they're going to be all over you." And I said, "Well, me and you ain't dating. So what difference does that make?" And she says, "No, I just know how they are. And I'm trying to keep you for myself."
Uh-oh.
Now, it blew I said, "What?" I said, "I'm not going nowhere. I'll be here when you get back, maybe." I mean, but the fact that she said that, I mean, it ties right into what you just said. I'm like, what? I mean, she literally, and if I had been one of these guys that would have got up and went to the washroom with her, which I'm not, I'm like, I ain't going nowhere with you. I mean, she didn't trust her own friends to sit at the table with me.
See that? Ain't that something? Ain't that something?
Yep.
Frenemies. frenemies, I wanted to play something because we I know y'all like to think that I know Jose Diaz. I told him that. I'm gonna tell him again. I know y'all like to think that we just dumping on women, and we talk about this, and all of a sudden it's like, what did Shorty said? I have a lot of energy for Black women. Of course, I have a lot of energy for my community. Period.
Yeah.
Because I know we're not perfect. We're not perfect, but we strive for perfection. And I know that we can do better. Remaining silent is just waving my arms and saying I don't give a shit. I talk about Black men. I'm talking about the 16%. Because I want that 54 to become 55, 56, 57. I want the Pookies and Ray Rays to go away. But they're loud and proud with their behavior because you guys are enabling them. This show is about who to stay away from. Never trust a big dick and a smile. That bro is poison. Now let me share this.
And shout out to Eric. I watched it live the other day. It was amazing, and she brought out some great points that I want to refer to in this video. So how is it that we've been duped exactly? Being the strong, independent woman that so many of us are today, we were married at a higher rate than most demographics in the 50s and 60s. The man would go out and work, the woman stayed home and took care of the place and the kids. But somehow that lifestyle was demonized and looked at as a mockery for the modern lifestyle that we now have today. Ever since feminism and the whole women's rights movement came into play, and women were now able to go out and do what the men do, going out to work and have businesses, we somehow felt as if that made us better women. And that's not to say that women can't work or have businesses or anything of the sort. She said, but we as women had a life that was easier for us back then. And modern women today now, according to many surveys, we're more depressed, we're more anxious, we have a lot more mental health problems than we did ever before, and our women are the least married than we've ever been in history. We physically and figuratively wanted to wear the pants in the relationship while all the while they were using reverse psychology on us. This is the modern woman you should aspire to be like. She's not just a housewife, she's not just a cook or a mom. As if these things were demeaning. There's nothing wrong with being a working woman, but we're clearly not as happy as we used to be, and we're clearly not as married as we used to be either. Life is a lot harder for a lot of us because we don't have as much two-parent households anymore. Now you have so many women saying, oh, I don't feel protected by the Black man. Well, you're so busy trying to be the man, how's he gonna protect you?
Drop the mic. Booyah!
Oh, mic drop.
Wow.
A woman will see that and say that they're in the position that they're in because the men aren't men. Well, congratulations, because Pookie got 3 baby mamas and you're one of them.
Yep.
Avoid the 16%.
Or he might be Nick Cannon and he got 13 or 14 baby mamas.
Did you hear what she said? Exactly. Did you hear what she said? Mental illness and all that shit is up.
Yep.
Because y'all are not built to what y'all are doing now. Y'all are not built for it.
It's not in your nature.
It's not. And when you meet a strong woman, let alone a strong Black woman, let me tell you something. I had a situation with it was a job situation, and Shorty had told me something, and I did a show about it, and the show was called "What the Fuck is an Alpha Female?" And I got so pissed off that I had a conversation with her that day, and it bothered me so bad. Shorty said, yeah, I'm an alpha female. Alpha females don't forget. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Why did she even say that? She said, oh, I never told you that. This was a union issue. And I said, word, as she's talking to me, I'm in my phone that I fucking thought I lost today. And I'm like, you never what? And I start reading exactly what she texted me. Everything that I said she told me, she was telling me she didn't tell me that. And I'm like, is she crazy? And I said, and I asked her, I said, do you realize who you're talking to? because this is the first time we had a voice-to-voice conversation. But I said, wait a minute. I know you're busy, but do you realize who you're talking to? She said, yeah, I'm talking to. I said, yeah, wait, hold on. I said, yeah, you told me. She said, no, I never told you that. Gator told you that, and I know I never told you that, and Gator crazy, and I'm an alpha female. I don't forget. I know I never told you that. I said, I had to scroll, and I said, Lord, I hope I ain't delete these texts. And what do you know? I found it, and I just started reading it. I said, does this ring a bell? She says, no. I said, no, I'm reading what you sent me. That's why I asked you. I said, are you sure you know who you're talking to? Because we never spoke. This is month number 3. This is the first time I actually had to call you. But we've been texting. Are you sure you know who you're talking to? And she said, oh. And I'm like, you said this, and that, this, and that. You don't remember this? I said, I'm reading what you sent me. You absolutely told me that. I have it in writing. What do I always say, family? Don't you hear me? Yeah, you hear me say it in a while, but documentation beats conversation.
Yep.
I save everything. You tell me some shit, I be screenshot. I have a folder dedicated to screenshots of important, what I deem is important. There's people that say shit in my chat, screenshot, and I have a folder dedicated. I'm very organized. I have a folder for every fucking thing with dates and everything, because you never know.
Yep.
You never know. You'd be amazed at the shit that I have.
I'm like that too.
You'd be amazed at the shit I have. So, because you might need it later. If it's a legal matter, and someone comes out and says, "Well, I never said no, right here, February 2020, you said this and that in the chat, and you said you would do this and that. This isn't you. This is you. Don't fucking play with me." Documentation beats conversation. When I showed her that, she was like, oh, okay, well, I said, but never mind that. Never mind that. And I did kind of troll her. I said, well, never mind that, Alpha. How do we move forward? Now that we've cleared up the air, because she was talking to me very aggressive, to the point where I was offended over the phone, because I was following the directions that she gave me, but she was the type of person where you text and it takes her a week to get back to you. And then, when she gets back to you, text her again. It's like, yeah, this is in response to da-da-da-da-da. Oh, well, do this and that, do this and that. And I'm like, whoa, okay. But then when she was going off on the phone, and I could just envision, and I never met her face to face, but I knew she was a sister. And I'm just envisioning her just on the phone like this, with the hair waving. I never did that, and I never said that, and I'm an alpha female. And then I said, whoa. I said, slow down. And I'm going through my phone, and I read what she texted me. I said, does that sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? Well, I don't know what that. I said, this is you. So I'm going to ask you again, do you realize who you're on the phone with? We never spoke, but what I just read was what you sent me. You know who you're talking to. And then when I bust that down, she says, oh, well, okay. So, I said, no. I didn't even let her apologize because I didn't accept it. And she just said, sorry. I didn't even accept it. I said, never mind. Now that we've cleared the air, now that you know that I'm not full of shit, now that you know that you're disorganized, but you have this high-ranking position in the union, but you're disorganized and you fucked up, never mind that. How do we move forward? What do we do moving forward now, Alpha? I did it to her twice. Oh, okay, well, what you need to do is send me a copy of it. I said, all right, Alpha. I said it twice. That was to let her know, bitch, don't throw that feminist bullshit at me. I didn't ask for it.
I don't play that shit.
I needed you, exactly. I needed you to do a job. I pay union dues. I needed you to do a job. You fucked up. You forgot what you told me. And you threw that alpha shit out there because you're talking to a man over the phone with bass in his voice, and somehow you got a problem with that. That's all that was. Because I was asking questions. And she got offended at the point where I'm like, well, you told me to make this phone call here, and I called it. Well, who told you that? I heard you was talking to Gator. I heard you. There's a guy, we call him Gator. I heard you was talking to Gator. I said, yeah, I was. Well, he's not a part of the union. I said, well, he's running for the position in the depot. Well, you should be taking, but he's not an official member. You should be taking any. I said, well, he's the only person helping me because I would text you, and on average, it took you like a week and a half to get back to me, man. Oh, well, no one told you to listen to him, and I ain't told you. Who told you to do that? I ain't told you to do this. I ain't told you to call there. And the whole time she's talking, I'm scrolling through my text. I said, well, am I mistaken? Because if I'm mistaken, I'm not going to be wrong and strong. So I'm looking at the text, and I found it. And I said, oh, yeah? She says, yeah. And I don't forget anything. I am an alpha female. I don't forget anything. And I lost it. And I had to
cancel that shit, boy.
I said, hanging up on her is not going to fucking help. I'm looking at her. I'm not at her, but I'm looking at the text. I said, she absolutely told me this. And I said, when she said that, now I got so mad. I was like, what the fuck was that? I didn't need to hear that. I said, okay. I had to count back. Woosah. I said, okay. I said, you didn't tell me that? And I started reading it. She typed me a whole paragraph. And I said, I said, this is February 3rd, I said, does this sound familiar to you? And she said, no. I said, this is you texting me. Are you sure you know who you're on the phone with? Silence. And then I started reading. And I said, here we are. There was 3 dates in February and 2 days in March. And I know how some of these union people could get. They're bombarded with a lot of work. And sometimes when the same person asks you the same question over and over and over again, they're human. They can get annoyed. But you signed up for this job. But don't ever in your life tell me I didn't, that I did something, or you didn't do something when I have it in writing that you did it. And then when she said that alpha female shit, I almost blew a gasket. I almost had a fucking aneurysm right there. And I said, no. I said, I know she told me that. I take good notes. And I said, look, I said, you said it right here. And I read her text. And then when she brought it down a notch, I said, but okay, so now that's done. All right, that's done. But never mind that. What do we do moving forward, Alpha? Oh, okay, what you need to do is you can call such and such. I said, all right, Alpha, thanks. I hung up the phone. I haven't talked to her since because I ain't need her at that point.
I don't let nobody talk to me like that. Man, woman, a gorilla, nobody. You can't talk to me any kind of way. Now, I respect everybody, but if you come to me with all that extra aggression, I'm shutting it down. And if you won't shut it down, I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to your stupid ass because you don't know how to talk to me. I'm not going to talk to you like that. So I'm just getting ready to disconnect this shit. And I'm going to call somebody above you and let them know that I don't want to work with you because you don't know how to talk to somebody. And I'm not letting nobody talk to me. If a man's not going to talk to me in the way that you as a female are talking to me, why do you think it's okay for you to do it? Right. It's because you know that we allow it because we're like, well, I'm just not going to say. I'm not allowing it because that's why it happens the way that it does. And it's gotten so out of control. You can't talk to me like that. I will say, baby, bye. And I'll walk so far away from you so quick. I don't care. It's like, well, I was mad and I don't care nothing about you. I'm not going to come to you like that. Don't come to me like that. Don't put your hands on me unless you want me to put them back on you.
That's right.
You hit me. I'm like, no, if you hit me, I'm done with you. We're not even going to talk no more. I'm done. Now, if it's playful or whatever, that's different. But you can't get mad at me and slap me because you mad and think that it's going to be, we're going to get over it. We're not getting over that because the next time I'm going to leave you because I know me. You hit me again, I'm fucking you up. So I'm not going to be in a situation like, I'm like, no, I don't hit women. So I'm going to leave your stupid ass and you go hit somebody else. But you're not going to hit me again. And that's why I said, if that man hits you, first of all, if he hit my daughter, it's slow singing and flower bringing for his ass.
That's right. And that's the type of time I'm on, man. Don't hit anybody and expect not to get hit back. We reviewed that. LeRon has a great Broken Traditions. He has a great video on that. Kane says, Drew, where is the all-women police precincts in New York? They don't exist because they'd all shot each other. They'd all shot each other. And that would have been the most busiest precinct and wherever that precinct is, wherever they patrol, the crime would be so high because no one would respect them. And they'd be in trouble because they'd be pulling their guns every 5 fucking minutes. You know what I mean? And that's, listen, avoid the 16%.
Yep.
Avoid the 16%, sisters. Because the facts, the data, and statistics prove what's not right, Drew. What I said, it is. It is. You listen. It is. It'd be fucked up. Whatever precinct, if it was an all-woman precinct, it'd be fucked up in that area of New York.
Hell yeah.
Fucked up.
Anywhere in the world, it'd be fucked up.
Now watch this. There's a unit called ESU, Emergency Services, which means with the guns that the police have, when they got to call ESU, that means it's something that they can't handle. So they got to call in the big dogs with the rifles and the battering rams. I don't know how many women are in ESU, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to inquire because I never asked that question. I want to know how many women are in ESU. I just watched a video of men versus women in sports, and it was the craziest thing. I've seen MMA fights. Of course, look, the women didn't win anything. Physical contact, they didn't win. I saw a track meet, they didn't win. I saw tennis matches, they didn't win. We are genetically, biology. Due to biology, we're just superior. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
This grown man got up out of bed one day and said, hey, he just felt like he was going to be a woman. So he was like trans, whatever it is. And he was like top 50 swimming. He couldn't beat anybody as a man. Jumps into the pool with women because he identifies as a woman now, and he's on those drugs to go through the change. And he's not only competing with the women, but he's breaking records. And those records are standing. He's setting records. He's beating on average these women in the pool by like a minute. You know what it is to beat a person by a minute? Imagine an aliens come down, right? And genetically, they're bigger than us. They're human looking. Maybe they have no news. Imagine, if you will, humans come to Earth because their planet blew up and they can breathe our air and improve our quality of life with their technology, but their planet blew up. And now they're with us. Reference says that they have no noses. And now they're allowed to compete with us. They're that domesticated. There was a movie about that called Alienation.
Yes.
And there was a series on TV too. Now, Imagine, if you will. Now, they were genetically different. They were smarter. They needed 3 of them to make a baby and procreate. Salt water burned them. But they were genetically superior in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Now, imagine these aliens that I'm talking about. Imagine on average, the average alien was the size of Shaq. The average alien. The average man is about 5'9", 168 pounds. Now imagine these aliens, the average alien was 7'2", 300 pounds. But then they have ones that are above average. So a Shaq in that alien race was 10 feet tall. Is it fair to let him into the fucking NBA? How do you defend him?
Right.
You have to hire a person that can defend him. Imagine the average alien was LeBron James size. Can you imagine that? And that'd be like a kid, a 14-year-old alien. Now, here's my point with this. This dude jumps into the goddamn pool. Imagine those aliens get on the track and he blows out Usain Bolt, not by seconds, because these track stars, the Olympics, when they break those records, the new world records, it's by milliseconds. Yeah. Imagine this guy, these aliens, now they're competing, and it's him versus Usain Bolt. And he's racing against a 7-foot-tall, 300-pound alien. And when he beats Usain Bolt, he's not beating him by seconds. He's beating him by like 2 minutes. Usain at his top speed, alien looks behind him, and it looks like he's just jogging. Ladies, that's what's happening. They let this man jump into the pool with your niece and your daughters, and he's not only breaking world records for women, he was putting the goddamn records out of place like by minutes. And the funniest meme that I saw was him standing there with his little bitch tits talking to a female reporter with the mic, and it was a meme, and it said, "Listen, I won this race fair and square. Anyone who doesn't agree with me can suck my dick." That was the funniest goddamn thing, because it was a dude, man. He still had his genitalia. He's beating those women because he's a man. And when he competed with other men, he couldn't compete. He couldn't compete.
He wasn't even close.
He wasn't even close. There's a few videos where they have cross-gender sports and stuff. The women never win. I just said there was a pro soccer team, right, that played against a bunch of high school kids, and the high school boys beat the pro female soccer team. These are high school kids, man. It's different, man. You know, so I would never want to live in an area where a precinct in New York was all female. I would bro, no. The crime would be out of control. Guns would be getting stolen off of it. Please, stop it. Normal people do respect the law. But there's a lot of fools out here be like, yo, I've seen them. The 2 female cops were, hey, what's the problem? Fuck you doing? I don't care about that Glock 19. Get out of here. You better call for backup. I've seen dudes do that. You better call for. I'm not listening to you. You call for backup. What I got going on here is what I got. I'm not respecting you. I've seen that.
Yep.
What are they gonna do? Do I gotta remind y'all about the force options? Verbal commands. No, I'm sorry. Professional presence, which means when the officer shows up, whatever you're thinking you're doing, you got to stop that shit. For a normal person, yeah, I'm about to go snatch that person. Oh, there's a cop there? Okay, I'm not going to do it. For a normal person, professional presence is all it is. Verbal commands. Hey, man, you don't look right in this neighborhood. You might want to keep it moving. Don't stand here. They can tell you that. Don't stand here. Get out of here. Verbal, professional presence, verbal commands, empty hand control. They can do that. Put their hand on you. Come on, you got to go this way. I gave you a command. That's number 3. Then there's batons and mace. Come on, you got to go this way. Get the fuck off me. They can't do that. The police don't play fair. You knuckle up, they go to their force options. They don't pay them to fight fair. That's what we were told in the academy. We're not paid to fight fair. We're paid to win. We'll explain it later in the paperwork that takes you all fucking night.
Right.
Okay? So when you knuckle up in John Wayne, they go to their mace. They go to their baton. Ladies, you're not when he does this, you better go here to your belt, taser, or whatever it is. Last option, deadly physical force, DPI. Nobody wants to go there. But here's the deal. Some people under extreme pressure, when it's a situation, and a man my size goes like this to the 5'4" police officer that weighs 120 pounds, she's not going to her batons or her mace. 9 times out of 10, it's police don't move. She's going to that firearm.
Yep.
And in the paperwork, here's the difference, y'all. In the paperwork, you have to articulate why'd you pull your gun. It's like, all right, well, he's a big dude, and you know, I gave him a command, and you know, I went to, you know, move him, and he snatched his arm away, and when he knuckled up, I went for my gun. Now, you have to articulate it. Sometimes her boss will look at her and be like, well, she is kind of small. Look at the size of this nigga. So, all right, her life was threatened. Because you can use DPI for if your life or a third party's life. And they'll look at my big ass and look at her little small ass like, yo, if he'd have knocked her out, he might have killed her. If he'd have punched her, he might have killed her. So, yeah, she was right for drawing her firearm. You have to explain that shit. It's not what you think. You have to explain that. Okay? So, it would not be in the best interest of the city of New York to have a precinct all women. No. Those women would be pulling their guns all day.
And they are always trying. When you find women in these masculine careers, they try to overcompensate too much. So they end up escalating everything because they're so busy trying to be something that they are not.
Bro, spot on. I've seen so many situations where, man, that's a whole nother show. Where it's like you have to look at it like, what the fuck was you about to do? Why'd you do that? Right. Why'd you pull that out? What? Why'd you pull that out? Because he raised his voice, you pulled it out? What the fuck is wrong with you? I ain't gotta be here for this bullshit. Crazy. All right, who was the brother that walked away from the situation? Big man who called the police for help. He walked away with his hands up, and that bitch shot him in the back. Did she not? Shot him in the back.
In the back.
Where was the threat? Where was the threat? Oh, he was going to the truck. Wait a minute. He was going to the truck. Yeah, he was going to the truck. He was opening the door. So what? She had backup. At that point, shoot him in the back. Why wasn't your taser out? If he wasn't complying, you know what it was? She was a little white bitch. Now it's a big old 6'4" black man. And the dude in the helicopter, you heard him say, oh, that looks like a bad dude. How the fuck could you tell what that is? All the way up here. There's a lot of shit wrong with that.
Yep.
But I go as far as to say this, although cops are fucked up, I know a lot of cops, if they felt that he was threatened or they felt he was going back to the car to retrieve a weapon, they'd have ran over and kicked him or something, or tackled him.
Right.
She shot him. She shot him.
Or they would have shot a warning shot, you know, just shot it up in the air.
In New York, there's no warning shots.
Gotcha.
In New York, man, when I got to the academy, there was so much shit that I was like, oh shit, that you realize that half the shit you see on movies is Hollywood. Ice-T in New Jack City played a cop. That scene when he's chasing, in the beginning of the movie, he's chasing Pookie, Chris Rock's character, when he ran through the park with the kids, and he said, get down! And he shot Pookie in the leg. He shot him in the Achilles. Let me tell you something. I watched that. When I look back, salute watch, I appreciate you. I look back at that scene, and I said, motherfucker, you know what would have happened to him? Listen to this. If a police officer was chasing a criminal, all he did was snatch a bag of drugs and ran off.
Right.
I would love to see the conversation when the sergeant comes onto the scene and he says, well, what happened? Well, you know, I was doing undercover work, okay? And I had the drugs and the money, and he snatched it and ran off. Okay? So why'd you shoot him? Well, he was running and I had to stop him. And you shot him in this park. There was kids in the park. You remember that scene where there was kids running? Get down! And it was I want to meet the cop that'll bust a shot in front of in a park against a perp running away from him, full of kids. You know what? You know what would have happened to Ice-T's character in real life? First off, Pookie would have gotten paid. He'd have been a millionaire.
Yep.
They'd have charged him for selling drugs or whatever, and trying to assault an officer. But once that was over, he'd have sued for getting shot while running away. And then that character was walking with a limp. He then had to pay for that leg that he shot.
Yep.
Then Ice-T's character would have went to prison, probably. He'd
Yep.
have gotten fired for sure. The sergeant would have been like, what the fuck? He'd have took his goddamn hat off and hit him over the head like, you dummy, what the fuck are you doing? There's no covering that. You shot a perp running away from you in a park full of kids? Do y'all know, I don't know Omega Red knows this, do y'all know bullets, they ricochet.
Yep.
It could go through you and hit all pipes and hit off a wall and hit you right in the goddamn eye and kill you.
Yep.
Okay? And Pookie, in that movie, would have been a millionaire.
Yep.
For stealing crack. He'd have smoked himself to death. That was so Hollywood. You better not shoot. And that's what the problem is. When we see these videos of brothers getting killed with their backs turned, no. Once the perp is running away, he's no longer a threat. Unless he's running up the block with a knife in his hand and he's stabbing people. Then you got to take the shot. You can articulate that. He's running and stabbing people. I have to take the shot. You can articulate that. But if he says, copper, and he's running away, you better not shoot him.
But they get away with it every day.
Yep. The NYPD, as fucked up as all of these police departments are, I will say, it's 20 years and out, and you can retire. If they can catch you on your 19th year, 364th day doing shit that they can take your shit for, they ain't got no problem snatching your employment, because that's one less pension they gotta pay. They will get you. They will get you. They call them the Rat Squad. IAB. They are not your friends. Trust me. They look to fuck them up. This is shit y'all might not know. Come on, man. But I didn't want to get off topic, but I just want to explain why I say that our sister love is the word. You know what I'm saying? An all-female precinct would not be a good idea, not in this city. No, that'd be a recipe for disaster. Not
in Chicago either.
Yeah, I agree with that, because they'd be calling ESU for every fucking thing.
Yeah,
they would. They just would, and that's equivalent to that man jumping in the pool and beating women. And by the way, feminism, that being accepted is because of feminism. Y'all allowed this bullshit. Y'all, because of all of this shit, and we got to be fair. You got men that get out of bed and say, yo, I feel like a woman today, and they're gonna try and use the restroom in a restaurant with your wife or your daughter or your niece, while she's trying to use a bathroom at a restaurant. 6'4" giant dude with a wig on is gonna walk in there because he identifies as a lady sometimes, and it's perfectly legal in some of these states, man. This is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So all we want y'all sisters to do is we're not dumping on you, but I understand it's not what you say, it's how you say it. But the time for us, we was nice about it from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Now we're in 2022, and look at where we've gone. We got brothers leaving the country because they don't want to deal with the bullshit. So now we got to scream it because y'all are not listening anyway. And then when we're telling you what the problem is, y'all still resisting, saying, well, it's your problem. And, y'all leaving by. Y'all don't give a fuck about the community. 16% of these Pookies and Ray Rays are responsible for 90% of y'all childbirths. So y'all are, listen, I was walking with my daughter and I explained that stat to her. And before I could finish the sentence, you know what she said? She said, that gotta mean that they're fighting over the same guy. I said, holy shit. I almost fell on the ground.
Yeah.
I said, why is it I could tell a youngster that? Because she's not even legal. I said, why am I telling this young girl this young lady this? And she got it in seconds before I could even finish it. She said, that means they're fighting over the same guy, right? I said, I just stopped and looked at her like, what the fuck? How could she get it? And we up here fighting with good and grown women in their 30s over this. And here's what I know. What I'm raising is not what y'all are putting out. My seed.
She gets her insight from you and your wife. Yep.
She comes from a 2-parent household. She has a father in her life. And I set the tone. Now, what she does in life, if she messes up, I'm still going to be here. But she's going to understand what accountability is. Don't come to me. Listen, y'all remember the male commandments? I will break them out next show to remind y'all what it is. A lot of it is comedy, but some of that shit is true. A lot of it is true. All of them labeled number 1 because these are things that y'all women should already know about men. That's why I call them the male commandments. And one of them is number 1. Come to me with a problem only if you want help solving it. Because sympathy is what your girlfriends are for. Only know one way to tell it, and that's the truth. That's it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna collar you and say, "Oh man, oh that's bad." Oh yeah, no. It's like, yo, you know that was stupid, right? Why the fuck would you do that? Oh my God, why are you always taking the male side? No, listen, he was an asshole, but you knew that. That's not my friend. You telling me about this guy, fellas? How many times y'all spoke to a girl and she thought that you were her boyfriend, but you didn't have the benefits of the boyfriend? She's calling you up and talking to you about what some nigga did, but she ain't giving you no pussy. So why the fuck you want to stay? Why the fuck does she feel you got to stay on the phone and listen to that shit? Call your girlfriends. Because the nigga you telling me about, I don't know him.
Facts.
But he's fucking you, and you're allowing that. I'm supposed to feel sorry for you? Why do you feel it's okay to call me up and spill this shit on me after you friend zone me? And you telling me about this dude, and he's not shit. But you complaining to me? Take this conversation to him. Oh, I do, but he's not listening. So why the fuck do you think I gotta listen to you? Man, don't get off my goddamn phone. The fuck is wrong with you?
Facts.
I
want to hear that shit.
Call your girlfriends with that shit. I'm not your friend like that. Nope. You friend zone me, and I'm talking to you from the heart because I've been through that. I'm like, wait a minute. Why does she think she can call me up with this? I told you I want to take you out. I want to do right by you, and I love you like a brother. Okay, but then you think it's okay to call me up about the dude you pursued? And everybody knew he was a shit, but you thought you had the magic carpet. You thought you had the Aladdin carpet that would change his mind. And when it didn't change his mind, now I gotta hear it? No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how he's blowing your back out and treating you like shit. I want to hear how, I think he's dealing with so-and-so. No, don't ask me nothing. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. Talk to a therapist. Well, I was a teenager. There was no therapy. But I was like, yo, go talk to your girlfriends. I can't, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Because he's doing him on the side while doing you, and you're putting up with it. So why the fuck I gotta hear it? Get off my phone. I'm trying to play Street Fighter here.
Facts.
Fuck out of here.
Facts.
And on that note, we're going to get out of here, Dr. Mark. Let me put your link in the chat. Let them know how they can find you. I'll put your link in the chat, though. There you go.
Flawless Mentality, YouTube, Flawless Mentality, and Black Excellence Podcast, hosted by Dr. Mark. Love you guys. Just know this. This show is about love. It's about village. It's about community. It's about us living our best life. It is not trying to throw a spear at anybody. Right. But it's got to be accountability. You got to get it. You got to get it, because if you don't get it, you're going to lose it all. You're going to lose everything. I don't want that for you. I don't want it for me. I want you. But we both have to be in a position where that makes sense. My shit is together. All I need you to do is just accept the authority that you're going to need. That's it.
Because y'all doing it by yourselves. That sister just ran out. Y'all stress levels is up. Blood pressure's up. Y'all weight, because that's from the stress, y'all. You trying to do everything on your own and you emotionally eat. That's why 80% of y'all black women are overweight. That's the truth. And it's not normal walking around like that. It's not normal. So what, you can get your stomach snatched, your waistline snatched. It's not normal. This is all undue stress. And when we bring that to y'all, y'all say, oh, because y'all not doing what y'all supposed to do. No, y'all picking that 16%. We're telling you there is a percentage of men that ain't shit, but y'all picking them. Stop.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that 84% that Dave is about to take to the goddamn Philippines. Catch him before 2023, before he leaves. And take those brothers and show them how to spread out their dollar and how to pick a wife, man. But that's all I got, man. Dr. Mark, man, salute to you, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank the chat, too.
Word up, thank the chat. We love you, man, and we only want to do better. But, you know, this is my black women I'm talking about, so I am being accountable. I'm not saying that life is hard, that everyone is attacking black women because of racism. No, we have a problem. Black men, that's 16%. We have a problem. This is how I give back. This is how I address it. And we do it by engagement, by having a conversation, Rose Bloom. So if you want to speak on behalf of black women, Rose Bloom, come in the chat, be respectful, click the link, and we can have a conversation. Just turn your camera on. Let's get to the bottom of it. Do you want to talk about me and try and assault me and try and read me when you're not even I doubt you're a therapist. You want to try and read me, or do you want to discuss the problem? Because I'm not the problem. I'm trying to be the solution that you said, all I hear is attack, but there's no solution. Well, when I was on Dennis Sperlin's show, salute to Uncle D, I asked the brothers that were younger than me, I said, well, what's the solution, brothers? They said, we don't know. So I'm all ears. What are the solutions, Rose Bloom? I'm open to hear what you have to say. Attacking me is not going to solve the problem. I'm secure, and I'm not part of the problem. I'm a married man, I'm a family man, and this is how I give back. Attacking me doesn't help. You can't attack me. You can't. Well, you can, but you can't do it successfully. Because what you assume about me is not what I'm putting out. I'm a success in life. Are you?
That's right. That's right.
Bring your ass. Let's have a conversation, sister. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, man. You already know where I'll be tomorrow morning. Again, Dr. Mark, much love and appreciation to you.
Much love, brother.
And, what's today? We'll be back Wednesday, brother.
We'll be here.
We'll catch y'all on the rebound.
All right.
Peace.